This video is about the algae in the kingdom Plantae. The algae are chlorophyll bearing, simple, thalloid, autotrophic and largely aquatic organisms. As the fungus was also simple, but the algae are autotrophic, the fungi were heterotrophic, saprophytic. The algae are thalloid. Some of algae are filamentous, but most of the fungi are filamentous. The algae occur in variety of the other than water. The algae can occur in moist stones, soils and wood. Some of them occur with the association with the fungi, which are the lichens. The form and the size of the algae is highly variable. When we see the even they are unicellular algae. The example of the unicellular algae is the Chlamydomonas. The algae is divided into three classes. One is Chlorophyceae. The members of Chlorophyceae are called green algae. As the name suggests, they are grass green color due to dominance of the pigments chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Most of the algae are multicellular. Here is the three examples of the algae which are unicellular. One is Chlamydomonas, second is Chlorella, and third is Estabularia. The Chlamydomonas they have been placed in this kingdom Plantae, not in the kingdom Protista, but they are unicellular because they have been placed in this kingdom because of their life cycle. The Chlamydomonas has a cup-shaped nucleus. With the cup-shaped nucleus, it has two flagella. It has a pyrenoid, which is pyrenoid can be one or more in number. They are within the chloroplast. Within the chloroplast, and they store the protein and starch. Some of the fat droplets can also be present, which is also the form of storage food in the algae. When we see the reproduction of this algae, most of these algae produce a different type of spores. The most common spores for asexual reproduction is the zoospores, which are produced in the structure called zoosporangia. Here, this is the picture of zoospores produced in the zoosporangia. Example is showing this Chlamydomonas. If we see the sexual reproduction of the Chlamydomonas, then they produce the gametes. The gametes are isogamous, that both appear same in size, and here the both are motile with the two flagella attached at the apex. So we study that in green algae the gametes can be isogamous, oogamous or anisogamous. Here this is the oogamous condition. This is the isogamous condition present in the Chlamydomonas. If you see the zygote formation takes place for fusion of the two these gametes, zygote is formed and that will go meiosis. again it is haploid is produced. So in algae and fungi, we have studied that their main body is haploid, and after fusion zygote formation meiosis occur, and again the main body is haploid. The color of this is because of the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Color of the green algae is because of the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B present in the chloroplast. The chloroplast can be of different shapes. We'll look at this later on. And the cell wall of this green algae, cell wall is made up of the outer inner layer of the cellulose and outer layer of the pectose. Second example of the chlorophyll K, which is unicellular, is the chlorella. Chlorella is the unicellular algae. It is rich in proteins. As we saw they have the pyrenoid. It is rich in protein and it is used as a food supplement even by the space travelers. Third is the acetobularia. This acetobularia is a single cell. This whole is single cell with single nucleus. This is a green algae, chlorophyll K, and it was used to demonstrate the importance, function of the nucleus. The nucleus controls the function of the whole the cell. The algae existing in the colonial form is this Volvox and Vidonia. In Volvox, these are motile colonies. This is the parent colony. Within them are the daughter colonies. The number of the cells are fixed in a particular colony, so it is called conobium. When we see about the sexual reproduction in Volvox, it is an oogamous condition. We show you the oogamous condition in which the female gamete is large and immotile and male gamete is motile, has flagella and is smaller in size. In Volvox, it is oogamous condition. In Udonia, another example of the colonial green algae. In this, there is an isogamous condition. The two gametes are not similar in size. There is an isogamous condition. Green algae can be filamentous. Example includes the Eulothrix and Spirogyra. In Eulothrix, there is girder shaped of this chloroplast. This is filament of the Eulothrix. And when sexual reproduction takes place in Eulothrix, the gametes would be isogamous, that they will be same appearing, similar in size, but they will be flagellated and motile. In Spirogyra, also it will be isogamous, but the gametes would be non-motile. In Spirogyra, this is ribbon-shaped spiral chloroplast is present. Green algae can be thalloid multicellular. Example is vulva. This is used as a food. So here we found the about the green algae. Now another example is in chara. The chara is a type of the green algae. This is chara. In all the algae except this chara, the sex organs are not jacketed, but here the sex organs are jacketed. Here we are seeing the oogonium and antheridium, which are jacketed. We study about this in next year in class 12. But remember that chara is a green algae in which the sex organs are jacketed. Coming to the brown algae, the color of the brown algae is because of the presence of the fucoxanthin, which is a xanthophyll pigment, and the color can range about from the olive green to various olive green to the brown, depending upon this pigment present. Their chloroplast will have the chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, and carotenoids and xanthophyll. They show great variation in the size and form. Here we are seeing the very large kelps, very large kelps, which can go up to 100 meters of the height. The fish are floating. The kelps are attached to the substratum by holdfast. So these are big kelps. When we see about the kelps, they are very complex structure. The brown algae are hold here we are seeing the holdfast with which the substrate with which they are the brown algae is attached to the substratum by holdfast. Then the structure is a stripe. The stripe is a stalk. Then the frond, which is a photosynthetic organ. Leafy photosynthetic organ is the frond. Stalk is called the stripe and is held by holdfast. This is the shown example is laminaria of the brown algae. Laminaria is also used for food. If we see a cell of a brown algae, then it has a central large vacuole in addition to the nucleus, plastids and other organelles. It has a large central vacuole, and the cell wall of this brown algae is covered with a structure called is a hydrocolloid called algin. So this is algin, this is cell wall, then cell membrane. The algin is present in brown algae, which is extracted and is used for the thickening agent in food industry and in dentistry for making the impressions. The brown algae can be filamentous form. Here we see in this ectocarpus, which is really highly branched filamentous form, which is the ectocarpus. The ectocarpus, the ectocarpus and the kelps in brown algae show haplodiploidic type of the life cycle, along with the red algae, which is Polysiphonia. Here we see showing the ectocarpus has also the diploid as well as haploid body. The diploid is gametophyte and haploid is gametophyte. The ectocarpus and the kelps show haplodiploidic type of the life cycle. Next example is the fucus. Here you see the fucus. In fucus, there is the midrib, this is the front, and these are air bubbles. The fucus during sexual reproduction has oogamous gametes. Here we see the life cycle of the fucus. Here we seeing that this is the oogamous condition, that this is the female gamete, these are the male gametes having two laterally attached flagella. When it is oogamous condition, the fertilization takes place within the oogonium. In oogamous condition, the fertilization will take place within the oogonium, or when it is an other isogamous or an isogamous condition, the fertilization will take place within the water. Here we are seeing the gametes are pear shaped with two laterally attached flagella. And second thing we have to see in this diagram is that the fucus main body is not haplontic, it is diploidic. The fucus is an example of diploidic life cycle where the main body is diploid. The main body is haploid in other algae. If we see this laminaria and we see the cell of this laminaria, this body is haploid. If we see the body of this fucus, then fucus, the cells are diploid. If we see the ectocarpus, then the body is it can be if haplodiploidic, means the gametophyte is haploid, whereas sporophyte is diploid. Like as also seen we'll explain in the Polysiphonia. The vegetative reproduction of all this brown algae takes place by fragmentation. And asexual reproduction is with the biflagellate zoospores that are also pear-shaped and have the two flagella which are unequal and laterally attached. So remember that asexual reproduction in most of the brown algae and in the green algae takes place with the zoospore formation. Those zoospores have 2 to 8 flagella in case of the green algae, which are arranged at apex, whereas in the brown algae they are laterally attached and these zoospores are pear shaped with unequal laterally attached flagella. Whereas in the last we see the red algae. In the red algae, the asexual reproduction is by the non-motile spores. The spores are non-motile. Last example of the brown algae is the sargassum. The sargassum is, and this is dictyota. The dictyota has the fronts which have been divided into. Lastly, they bifurcate, so it is dictyota, dicytota. This is the sargassum which is also used for food. So Laminaria, sargassum, and more than 70 species of the marine algae have been used in food. In green algae, which are the vulva is being used as food. Now coming to red algae. Red algae is exemplified by Polysyphonia, Polysyphonia, the Porphyra, the Geridium and Drusilla. Most of the red algae are marine. The red color of them is because of the phycoerythrin in the body, which is red pigment. These red algae mostly grow in the warmer water, warmer areas. They can grow in the well lighted superficial regions close to the surface of water, and also in depth in depth where there is very little light penetrates. The red thalli of the is mostly multicellular. This is the thallus of this red algae, which is multicellular, and some like as Polysyphonia has a complex body organization. They store the food is a form of the chloridian starch, which is very similar to the amylopectin and glycogen in structure. The stored food in the brown algae was the laminarian and mannitol. Red algae will reproduce vegetatively by fragmentation and asexual reproduction taking place by the non-motile spores. Here the sexual reproduction is also by the non-motile gametes. It is always oogamous condition in case of the red algae. So we are seeing this Polysyphonia in which the condition is oogamous, and I told you before that as in the Calves, Ectocarpus, in Polysyphonia the life cycle is haplodiploidic, that both the haploid gametophyte and the diploid gametophyte, all the three forms exist, male gametophyte, female gametophyte and the diploid sporophyte, all the three forms exist. The gametes are produced from the gametophyte. It would be an oogamous condition. The non-motile gametes, which are doing fertilization and producing this spores, producing this sporophyte. The sporophyte will produce the spores, which would after meiosis. This type of life cycle we also see in the bryophyta and pteridophyta, that is haplodiploidic type of life cycle, where gametophyte produce the gametes, they fuse, they produce a sporophyte, the sporophyte after meiosis produces spores. This is Polysyphonia. After fertilization, there are going the complex post-fertilization development, leading then to the sporophyte. This is picture showing again of the Polysyphonia, that this is the sporophyte which produces spores by meiosis. The spores are of two types that can produce male gametophyte and female gametophyte. This is oogamous condition, then getting complex post-fertilization development and producing again sporophyte. This is the Polysyphonia. It is not thallus form, it is complex form. Red algae on their walls have this carrageenan. The carrageenan is obtained from chondrus. This is also a thickening agent used in the food. And second thing which is obtained from this red algae is the agar. Agar. The agar-agar is used as a culture medium for growing the microbes, and also the agar-agar is used for the making the jellyfish jellies and jelly and ice creams. So this was about the kingdom of Plantae having the algae. This is showing the different forms of the chloroplast, which can be stellate, the stellate star-shaped chloroplast, the ribbon-shaped chloroplast, the girdle-shaped chloroplast in Ultrix, the reticulate type of the chloroplast. The algae, although is photosynthetic, but it can be with the symbiotic relationship, or it is growing on the terrestrial like it is growing on the sloth bear. It's on his hair. The algae is growing. It's causing its green color. Okay, thank you.